Hey, everybody. We are live at Paste Studios right now with Hayes Carll. Hayes, thanks for coming back, man. Good to see you again.
Good to be back. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're going to do 4 songs today off of What It Is, and that album is out in the world. It's out in the wild on Dual Tone right now.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about what you're going to start out with?
I'm going to start off with a song that is the last song on the record. We're going to flip the script here. This one's called I Will Stay, and it's just a promise. I have seen you at the window, I've heard you at the door. I felt the world convince you could even up the score. Watched you carry on the memories from a life that came before, then went away. But I will stay. I remember how you told me you felt it all might fall apart. You barely made it into this world, you've been fighting from the start. It's not easy to believe, but I will protect your heart in every way. I will stay. Warm rain on the water, lone star in the night, brave dreams to hold on to. It will be alright. And it's hard to keep believing all the stories you've been told, and to watch the way you try, babe, is a sight to behold. And sometimes you will get angry, and sometimes you will get cold, but that's okay. I will stay. There's a ghost in every garden and a lock on every door, and all of them remind you of the ones who came before. There's a pain in every memory you don't have to hold no more. Now the summer sun is fading and the autumn's in the hall, and if time would just stop moving, that wouldn't bother you at all. But your story isn't finished, you got so much more to say, and I can't wait. So I will stay. I will stay. Oh! Thank you.
Hayes, thank you, man. That sounds great.
Thanks.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit about what you've been up to in order to stay, to keep creative juices bubbling? I mean, repetition is where creativity goes to die, and you have been employing some pretty specific methods. Can we talk about what you've been doing to make sure that that everything stays fresh in the creative process and in what became this album?
Yeah, so between my 4th and 5th records came out Yo-Yo and Lovers and Leavers. It was about a almost 5-year period, which was not great for me creatively or and personally or career-wise. Like I didn't want to take a 5-year hiatus from putting out work, but you know, a lot of things were a part of that, led to that, you know, life being one of them, but also creatively I was having a hard time staying on track and finding my voice, and so what I started doing is I gave myself this challenge to try and write something, you know, write more regularly, and that's something I've done in the past and failed at, you know, just saying here's a challenge didn't quite cut it. And so I went and I found this site called Patreon, where I started writing and recording songs and then releasing them to fans that were sort of supporting that process. And it was good for me because I now I had a deadline. I had people I was letting down besides myself if I didn't deliver, and then I started writing these tunes, and I had an outlet for them, which really encouraged me, inspired me to get working, and it gave me an opportunity to work with a lot of different people because it wasn't a full-on release and all the pressure and weight that comes with putting a record onto the world. This was just going to a really exclusive kind of select group of people, and I felt like it freed me up to be creative and try out different ideas. And so I got to work with different producers and different artists and just try different things. And a lot of what I did during that time became the basis for what it is. And then we went into the studio for real with Brad Jones and Allison Moore. They co-produced the record, and I had sort of worked through a lot of the kinks and had a real clear idea of what I wanted to do.
Nice. Cool, man. I'm glad that happened. Sounds like a really fruitful way to do it.
Yeah. And
to work with guys like Charlie. Charlie Sexton's going to be here next week, 2 weeks, I think. He just confirmed the session.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lolo was one of them. I mean, she did one of our most favorite sessions here a couple years ago and has been here recently. So that's awesome. I'm glad that you had that experience both professionally and personally. It sounds awesome.
Yeah. It was good. It's easy to get. Well, I can't speak for everybody. For me, it's real easy to get inside my own head and start worrying about other people's expectations about, how music, how art is going to be received. And when you're in that headspace, it's not a healthy one to be in. And I don't think great work comes from that. And so I've just been trying to clear that out and be in the moment and write about what I'm feeling and what's going on in my life. And I found that to be infinitely more productive.
I believe it. Can you tell us what you're going to do second off of what it is?
Yeah. Well, I'll do a song sort of tied into that, and it's one that you mentioned Charlie Sexton. I was fortunate I recruited him to come be in the studio for the demo of this, and it's just a song about not sitting on the sidelines of life and not letting fear kind of keep you from reaching for what you're capable of. It's called If I May Be So Bold. It's no eternal mystery, you don't need a hard-earned clue. Why some men do their damnedest when a half a damn would do. There's a lifetime in the distance and it's filled with love and gold, and I find it yet if I may be so bold. Yeah, some men do the conqueror and some men do the wheel, and some will do most anything to hide the way they feel. And some like giving orders and some like to be told, but I make my way if I may be so bold. Bold enough to make a difference, bold enough to say I care, bold enough to keep on trying even when the will's not there. There's a whole world out there waiting full of stories to be told, and I heed the call and I tell them all if I may be so bold. The boys are emptying their glasses as true believers will, with what I guess these days passes for a good time or a thrill. And they're trying hard to convince you, but I don't believe your soul, so I'll step right up if I may be so bold. Bold enough to make a difference, bold enough to say I care, bold enough to keep on trying even when the game's not fair. There's a whole world out there waiting full of dreams that can't be sold, and I'll heed the call and I'll live them all if I may be so bold. Whoa. I have stumbled around these country towns and swallowed up the sea. I've wrestled with the question of just who I aim to be. Been dealt hands I had to laugh at, and some hands I'd love to fold, but I'll play them all if I may be so bold. Bold enough to not surrender, bold enough to give a damn, bold enough to keep on moving or to stay right where I am. There's a whole world out there waiting, full of stories to be told, and I heed the call and I tell them all if I may be so bold. Yeah, I tell them all if I may be so bold. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Can we talk a little bit about what do people see when they go see? So the West Coast leg of the tour is starting out on Thursday, so it's a quick turnaround. You're going to be at the Bluebird Theater in Denver on Thursday, and then there's a number of dates. Great American Music Hall in San Francisco on May 2nd. You'll be at Pappy and Harriet's 2 days after that, which the place holds a special place in my heart. And then UK dates in mid-May, US, and from now until the end of August. What do people see on when they go to see you live? Are you playing solo? Are you playing full band on all of them?
Yeah, right now we're full band. I think I've got a handful of shows in June, early June, that'll be trio, but the rest is full band, and so it's a rhythm section, drums and bass, and then I've got a guitar dobro pedal steel player named Travis Linville, who's a singer-songwriter, great singer-songwriter as well. But he and I've been playing together off and on for 15 years now. And then Corey Younce from Old Crow Medicine Show I borrowed him for this tour, and he's going to be playing piano and harmonica and mandolin. Mm-hmm. So he'll do this run with us before he goes back to his regular gig. But so that's the band, and yeah, I'm lucky. I've got some great players out, and so we've got. Having said that, we can get loud, and but we also bring it down. We have sort of a front porch set up where my drummer comes up, and he has all these crazy percussion instruments that he's collected, and everybody kind of gathers around the front of the stage, and we bring it down a bit, and I do some solo stuff in the show as well. So we try and do a little bit of everything.
Nice.
It's interesting to me as a fan when I'm watching a show to kind of be taken on a trip and get the whole range of experiences. So try to provide
dynamics
that.
are an important thing. I mean, you cannot just be full on all the time. It could be full on all the time, but
it could be. But and I've tried that in the past, but right now I'm liking what we're doing live and giving them a ride.
Nice. Well, dude, I'm enjoying this arrangement here. It's solo acoustic. It sounds great. All these songs translate very well into this setting as well. So thanks for bringing it here today. Can you tell us what you're going to do third off of what it is?
Sure. This is a song called "Times Like These," and it's just it was born out of frustration, the current sort of political climate. I have a hard time watching our leaders pit us against each other, and I've always believed we have more in common than what separates us, and we're at our best when we can find that, and we can find that commonality, and work together and look for the best in each other, and I think we deserve that from our elected officials. We deserve it from each other, from everybody. But so this is about that. It's called "Times Like These." In times like these, everyone could use a hand. Instead of standing around losing ground, fighting over the promised land. And it's so hard to tell if this is heaven or hell, and I can never measure by degrees. But it's sure getting warm around here in times like these. In times like these, do I really need a billionaire? Just taking on my time, trying to tell me I was treated unfair. Then I have to pay as the home of the brave gets divided into them and the we. Oh, I find I'm losing my mind in times like these. Yeah, they come and they go, they're here and they're not. Every day I'm getting better at losing something I haven't got. I just wanna do my labor, love my girl and help my neighbor while I keep a little hope for my dreams. But it's sure getting hard, brother, in times like these. Times like these, I wish I had a place to hide. Instead of bringing it together, we're just widening the great divide. I hope and I pray at the end of the day that I can somehow get my troubles to ease. But I gotta say it's not looking good, not in times like these. Yeah, they come and they go, they're cold and they're hot. I'm just trying to keep the world from turning me to something I'm not. I'm gonna do my labor, love my girl and help my neighbor while I keep a little hope for my dreams. But it's sure getting hard, brother, in times like these. Yeah, I wanna do my labor, get my girl and help my neighbor while I keep it on my joie de vivre. But it's sure getting hard, brother, in times like these. I could use just a little bit of help in times like these. Thank you. Got about 80% of the words right on that one.
Well, dude, we appreciate you being here straight off the plane, straight from whatever airport you came from, through the rain, right?
I think that's,
right to here for an on-time start, too, man.
We made it. We made it. I think that was the problem. My flight from Nashville to New York got delayed, and so I jumped in a car and we literally just ran up here. But I didn't do my. I can't remember what chords I'm playing or what words I'm singing, but we're making it.
Yeah, dude, we will take 80% of Hayes Carll any day, man. It'd be boring if you played them 100% the same way every time anyway. So
right.
We will take it. And there's a bonus song today. We got a fourth song that's also off of What It Is. Can you tell us what you're going to do fourth?
Yes. As soon as I get this tuned here. I'll do this. This is a song about a bar down in Austin that I used to hang out at from time to time. And it's just a little dive, a cool spot. And it had Christmas lights up year round. And it had a jukebox in the corner with nothing on it past 1968. And I always thought that was interesting. And so I asked around one day what the story was. And what I heard, and I don't know if it's true or not, but what I had heard was that the owner had a son who had gone off to fight in Vietnam at Christmas time. And she promised that she wouldn't take the lights down until he made it back home. And that's why all those years later, the lights are still up. So this is a song that I wrote with Alison Moore and Matresa Berg. It's called Jesus and Elvis. Jesus and Elvis painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. Lola built this joint in '67, and her boy went off to fight on Christmas Eve. In a war nobody won, she lost her only son. Now everything he loved is what you see. Jesus and Elvis, painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. Lola told him Jesus loves a sinner, and his daddy told him that music saved his soul. Between the drunkards and the band, it's a fitting promised land for the King of Kings and the King of rock and roll. And Jesus and Elvis, painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. All right. So if you need a shot of Dickel or redemption, where the Delta meets the Sea of Galilee, get washed in the blood of the Mississippi mud. Come on, you non-believers, and you'll see Jesus and Elvis, painted on velvet, hanging at the bar here every night. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. It's good to be back again. Oh, me and my old friends, beneath the neon cross and a string of Christmas lights. By and by, Lord, by and by. By and by, Lord, by and by.
All right, man. Hayes, thank you for coming and doing this. It's always a total pleasure to see and hear you do what you do. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
We'll be here doing this next time you're in the city, and it makes sense. Please do come by. We'll be here. And we appreciate it very much. Have travel safely. So the West Coast leg starts on April 25th out in Denver. Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. Pappy and Harriet's is happening. There's a UK leg. There's a ton of dates. They're all up at hayescarl.com. And man, best of luck on the album. Thanks for sharing with us 4 songs from What It Is. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.